March, the state DOT released its plan for a high-speed rail network that stretches all the way from Niagara Falls down to the Big Apple. But in the years since, there has not even been an update.
Now, at the time of our reporting, the DOT refused to answer any of our specific questions about the plan. And as it turns out, the department lacked specifics during a Senate hearing earlier today as well. 2 on Your Side's Nate Benson has been following this. So, Nate, did we learn anything about a timeline for this project yet?
Well, nothing concrete, Mary Alice, and it wasn't for a lack of trying on the part of lawmakers. So let's see if I can recap this in a few seconds so you're up to speed. In 2009, the state DOT began a study on the environmental impact of a high-speed rail system. In 2023, they released a plan called 90B, which will create 273 miles of new track between Buffalo and Schenectady and upgrade existing track between Albany and New York City. With a price tag of $6 billion, it will operate at a loss of around $30 million a year. But the real conversation about high-speed rail started last century.
You know, I have a timeline in my hand that I'm looking at. It started back in 1989, this conversation. Nothing should take 35 years.
Senate Transportation Committee Chair Tim Kennedy asked the majority of the questions to Assistant DOT Commissioner Janet Ho. The Assistant Commissioner did explain why other proposals were set aside.
It's really just a weighing of costs and benefits, right? What we, the department, are looking to do is to leverage the existing infrastructure in New York State.
Other, faster proposals could have cost north of $15 or $20 billion. But aside from that, lawmakers struggled to get answers about what the DOT needs from them in terms of moving this project down the track.
What can we do within the budget right now to help to leverage that funding at the federal level to implement this 90B alternative if everything's been agreed upon?
So I do think that planning still needs to take place.
So Kennedy asked again.
What can we do now in this budgetary moment to help leverage federal funds in the immediacy?
So I think, as mentioned, obviously Livingston Avenue Bridge is the project that we prioritized.
And one last time for good measure.
What can we do in the simplest of forms to advance this next step in the process to leverage that funding?
I think at this point in time, I don't have specifics.
So if you're asking yourself, are they actually going to do this project, and if so, when? Well, your guess is as good as mine, but if they do get started with it, it will take 25 years to complete, which, if my math is correct, it'll be the year 2049, 1 year before I plan to retire. On Your Side, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.